How's it going, guys? This is Coach True. Here we have the center post double cross. So the three is going to be right in the middle of all the action for this play. Spacing is really important. Make sure that you guys pay attention to the spacing. Notice here the distance from the three-point line to where the offensive players are positioned. You don't want to be in this region or right in here. That will definitely bring an extra defender towards the three, and we want the three to have as much room to operate as possible for this specific play. So here we're going to have the one is going to kick it to the three, and when the ball's in the air, as soon as the ball's in the air, the one is going to set a down screen for the five, and the five is going to pop up, and the two is going to set a down screen for the four, and the four is going to pop up, and those screens are both happening simultaneously. So here we'll have it run through, and as the four and the five pop up, the four is going to cut across. It's important to remember to take a little jab step away from the ball here, and then cut. You want to be as close as possible to the three, shoulder to shoulder if you can. That way the three can set a pivoted screen and shield off the defender, and the four is going to cut straight to the basket and look for a little handoff pass. And right after the four is cuts, you want to see the five cut, and again the jab step is important, away from the cut, and then cut around the three and look for a little handoff going towards the basket. Let's see that run through. There's the fours cut, there's the fives cut. And so after both cuts happen, you want to see the two and the one pop up into their original positions. And it's important for the five and the four to space out and fill those voids in the corner. And also keep in mind that at any time the three, after these cuts happen, the three can take a shot. He can reset, kick it back out for an open three if one of the defenders happen to lose his man and we find an open shot. Or the three can even drive if they wanted to, left or right. And these offensive players, the four and the five, are in perfect position if this player does happen to drive to crash the boards and have a offensive rebounder coming from both sides. So we could run through that over and over again. The two will cut. If he doesn't get the pass, the one will cut. If he doesn't get the pass, the five and the four pop up and they can cut, and we can do this over and over an infinite amount of times. So that was phase one of the play. And like I said, that play can be ran over and over. So phase two is going to be, and notice how we're back in our original positions with the one up top and the two up top. So in phase two, instead of down screening right away and setting up for the bigs to pop up and get these curls first, these cut curls first, want to have the two come across, and if he doesn't get the handoff, instead of cutting towards the basket and filling this corner void, if he doesn't get this pass here, he's gonna come down and set a screen for the four. And as he's going down and setting the screen for the four, the one's gonna cut across, and he's gonna go straight towards the basket and hope to get this pass. Hopefully we get an easy layup. But if that doesn't work, he's gonna run to finish his cut all the way to the basket and then float out and fill that corner void. And here the five's going to pop up, and on the other side, the four, when getting this down screen, he has three options. He can, if the defender is going to try and play high ball side and take away this pass, give him a hard jab step as if he was going to run up and fill that top void, and then a hard backdoor cut. And that could be an easy layup, pass from the three, bounce pass, boom. Or if it's Andrew or uh, another big like Mike or Jeff, maybe even Ish. You can might even be able to throw a lob pass here instead of the bounce pass. So if, like I said, if the defender's playing high side right here, high ball side, fake up and then hard backdoor cut. Another option is to do a hard curl cut right here and hopefully get this pass and with enough space for a little floater or even just a finishing layup. And then the third option is going to be just to pop up and fill this void. And here we are back in great position. And you want to see the 2 and the 1 float back out to their corners. And so there we are. And now we're back in position to run it all again. The 5 can cut across. The 4 can cut across. 1 and 2 will pop up. The 2 will come across. If he doesn't get this pass, he's going to set the screen. I mean, we can do this over and over again. And so now I'm just going to let it play through and we'll watch it happen step by step. So there's the 1 passing to the 3. 4 is cutting. 5's cutting. 2 and 1 pop up. 4 goes to the corner. 2 gets the screen. I mean, and we can do this. There's so many opportunities for layups in this play. Right off the bat, boom, the 4 can get a layup. The 2, the 4 can get a layup. And then if he doesn't get that, if the 3 is open right there, take that shot. Because oftentimes the defender from the 3 will kind of sag down and try to prevent the layup if the offensive 4 has an advantage right here. Has a step on the defender, the 3 will sag down. So take that shot. Don't be scared to take that shot. And so here the 5 is going to come across. And this can be, you could even stop here, throw a little stop here if your defender's on your back and carve out this space. And boom, throw a lob pass over the top, easy layup. And then here they come back out. So the 2 is going to come across here, set this screen, backdoor. That could be a layup right there as the 1 is crossing and hasn't even finished his cut yet. If you notice your defender is kind of cheating up, backdoor. And if you don't get it, pop back out. It's not a big deal. The thing that you have to remember in this play is to always fill the voids. Those voids are very important. These spaces right here, these 4 spaces, it's very important to keep your spacing, keep your spacing, keep your spacing, and keep your spacing. I can't stress it enough because you do not want an extra defender hanging around, coming from the back to poke at the ball from the weak side. So yeah, spacing is important. Hard, sharp cuts are important. Jab step away from the direction you want to cut. That's also important. And another thing, don't be afraid to shoot. Oftentimes, you'll something will happen where it kind of throws the play off from what it's specifically supposed to look like. But that doesn't matter. For example, if you have a cut and then here this defender, if they do get that little handoff and this defender comes down because they know that their teammate is gonna get beat for a layup, float to about right. The 1 should float to this corner and maybe the 4 will see him and boom, kick it back out, and that's an open 3. Just notice that if you keep these spaces filled, you'll find a lot of open shots when we do actually hand the ball off and give these passes to these drivers. People are going to cheat in, the defense is going to get sucked in, and we're going to have a wide open shot. And that's the play. That's the center post double cross. Let's finish this one and let it go through. And there we go. Cuts across, screen, cut, fill the void, come up, fill the void, original spaces. And another thing to consider is that it doesn't matter who's actually in any of these positions. This could be Dominic. I wanted to start off with Dominic right there. But it could be anybody. It could be me. It could be Drew. It could be Mike. Mike would also be a really good option right here because he's a good mid-post passer, good backdoor passer. And personally, I prefer the bigs to be cutting towards the basket. That's why when we start off, you see instead of the two starting off with the cut and the one cutting right after, we see the bigs come up because a big man coming to this position right here with a screen. Oh man, that's easy money. That's one. The bigs take one step in and boom, floater, or one big step, get to the bucket for a layup. So it's always good to start off with your bigs cutting this way first, and then in the flow of the offense, it doesn't really matter who's cutting as long as we keep our motion right and keep our spacing right. And that is it.